I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
All actors/directors are kinda crazy, but you know that, so what the heck? Let us talk about that one guy named Ben Affleck. In school, Ben was an awkward theater geek, and all that. He is childhood friends with Matt. He got his start with Linkletter on Dazed and Confused. His character liked to make boys' butts battered and bruised. Before he was the comic book bat who could do it all, he was a Kevin Smith rat in a mall. Ben works well with Kevin Smith, that is really great. In Chasing Amy, Ben tries to turn a lesbian straight. Matt Damon and Ben just couldn't land roles to get their careers bumping, so they wrote their own screenplay, called Good Will Hunting. They won the Best Original Screenplay Oscar. Good for them. At age 25, Ben Affleck was the youngest writer to ever win. On the first day of shooting, Ben and Matt cried tears of joy. Gus Van Sant was the director they did employ. Once he had Deflategate on-air temper tantrums, but who cares cause Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
Word, bitch. Phantom's like a motherfucker.
It was now time for his acting career to get literally blown away by the massive explosions of director Michael Bay. Affleck pointed out plot holes about drilling in space, and Michael Bay told him to shut his pretty face. They filmed at NASA and Ben snuck into a spacecraft where he shouldn't be. Affleck pretty much disowned this film on the DVD commentary. He collects vintage arcade games like Millipede and Miss Pac-Man. Some people hate him, but some people love him as Batman. Shakespeare in Love won Best Picture and threw Private Ryan for a loop. He only did the film to be near to his girlfriend Goop. He starred with Sandra Bullock in Forces of Nature. Ben Affleck is a very good movie maker. He played an angel in Dogma in 1999 with Matt Damon and Kevin Smith. He does that from time to time. He worked with Michael Bay again, but what you gonna do? For Pearl Harbor, he took flight training and sometimes he really flew. Even though Ben has a phobia of flying, he still tried it. His Pearl Harbor character is based on a real pilot. Ben Affleck is more than just a man, he is a myth. He did Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as a favor to Kevin Smith. The movie Changing Lanes allowed him to show off his acting glory. Look, it's Batman versus Nick Fury! Ben Affleck is super, and I ain't lying. He's Daredevil, Superman, Batman, and Jack Ryan. For Daredevil, he tried to do his own on-set tricks. No, not the Daredevil on Netflix. He wore contact lenses that actually blocked out his sight. After this movie, he said he would never play a superhero again. Yeah, right. Ben read every comic ever with Daredevil in it. Jennifer Garner kicked him and he blacked out for a minute. It took him a while to get his head back in order. He would later marry Elektra, and then divorce her. He often visits the Congo to help men, women, and children. His engagement ring to J-Lo cost $3.5 million. He did another film about trying to turn a lesbian straight. It was made when Ben and J-Lo used to date. Ben has never been in a worse film. Or has he? This film won pretty much every Razzie. Geely is full of Ben Affleck crazy nonsense. It failed miserably at the box office. This is one of the worst Hollywood motion pictures, and every time it's mentioned, Ben twitches. Next, he did a John Woo film called Paycheck, because he really needed a paycheck. Ben Affleck as Batman, Kevin Smith predicted it. In the film Jersey Girl, he says he drives the Batmobile. That's ironic, isn't it?
Oh, you're riding the Batmobile, aren't you? How cool is that?
Oh my God.
Ben Affleck is a powerhouse in the movie business. He was in a holiday comedy called Surviving Christmas. Hollywoodland was his big comeback. It got him out of slump mode. Affleck was even nominated for a Golden Globe. Ben Affleck's filmography is strong and cannot budge. He was in Extract, directed by Mike Judge. Good Will Hunting was his screenwriting breakthrough, and Gone Baby Gone was his directorial debut. Affleck cast Boston locals to give the film an authentic look. Gone Baby Gone is based off his favorite book. Yes, Ben Affleck is kinda crazy, but it's not polite to ask. He directed many scenes in the town wearing a skull mask. The first cut of the town was over 4 hours long. He fucked Jimmy Kimmel and sang a song. Ben Affleck is Hollywood's proof of how far you can go. His film won Best Picture, but not Best Director. It was called Argo. This is the true story that put the world in a panic. Ben Affleck's character is Hispanic. Affleck directed Argo. with all of his heart and soul, and he met the real guy to research the role. He was able to work with and make a deal with the CIA to make a real movie about making a fake movie with the real CIA. Because of this film, Iran tried to sue Ben Affleck for war crimes. Ben Affleck has hosted Saturday Night Live 5 times. Affleck cut half of Argo's frames and blew up the image to get a grainy 70s feel. He made all the actors live together for a week to fully understand the pain of the ordeal. Affleck worked with the great director Terrence Malick, as a matter of fact. To the Wonder had no script, Ben just used his raw emotions to act. Then Ben worked with David Fincher, another great director, and I really mean this. Affleck showed it all, including his penis. On the set of Gone Girl, Ben Affleck and Tyler Perry sang show tunes and had the time of their lives. For research, Ben Affleck studied men who were accused of killing their wives. When it was first announced that Ben would be that batty DC hero, most of the internet was screaming no. Affleck stayed offline to avoid any negative reaction, and he worked out for 2 hours a day to prepare for action. You know what they say? No pain, no gain. And Ben put on 20 pounds of muscle to play Bruce Wayne. To become Batman, Affleck got mean and learned how to fight. And he's the producer of Project Greenlight. At first, Ben didn't want to be Batman, but you know this. At 6'3", he's the tallest Batman, and at 45, he's the oldest.
Save Martha! Why did you say that name?
Ben was originally offered to direct Justice League and other DCEU dramas. He called his batsuit visual effects pajamas. In Suicide Squad, he fought Harley Quinn and Jared's Joker. Ben Affleck won $350,000 at the Championship of California State Poker. You think you can do it better than Ben Affleck? Well, you just can't. His personal favorite performance is The Accountant. How does Ben Affleck do it? It's a crazy mystery. And he asked a reality show to edit out slavery from his family history. While promoting his film Live by Night, the press only asked about Batman, and that's all. Ben suffers with an extreme addiction to alcohol. Affleck can sure kick some Superman butt. He dropped out of directing the Batman solo film to sober up. He is really good at blackjack. Counting cards is a skill he knows. Ben Affleck is so good he gets banned from casinos. Ben Affleck has shown us all to have hope, even if sometimes he likes to grope. Here's to you, Ben. Much respect. Sometimes it's good to be batty and crazy, like Mr. Affleck.